Alright, y'all, welcome back to the Complete Husband's Handbook podcast. My name is Daniel, and today we're going to do something a little bit interesting. We're going to look at 5 things I wish I knew before I got married. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of this is stuff I've known or things I've seen other people have to deal with, but it's different looking at something and, being on the outside looking in, and then actually having to experience it yourself. The first one is the wedding is, quote unquote, mostly about the bride. Now, I've helped people plan weddings. I love weddings. I love the logistics of it. I love making sure people show up. I love the look on the bride and the groom and the warm fuzzies and all that fun stuff. But when my wife and I planned our wedding, a lot of it was on her because I worked really crazy hours. In fact, I was working 2 jobs at the time. I had a full-time job where I worked 40 hours a week overnight. Then I had a part-time job that I worked during the day. And a lot of it did fall on her. And it's not what I would have wanted, and it sucked that it happened that way. But it was one of those things that in a way, it brought us closer together. And in a way, it kind of, the craziness of our wedding and making sure it all happened kind of taught us that we work really well together. So, fellas, women have been planning their weddings since they were little girls. Most of them. I can't say all of them, but most of them. And to them, it's a very special thing. It symbolizes the fact that they're going to start a family. For some of them, depending on the culture, it's when they've been officially accepted into society. And there are certain, things that go along with that. But, be gracious, be honest. If your bride-to-be or even your husband-to-be, depending on who you get married to, if they ask you a question, be honest. My wife and I, whenever we were planning the wedding colors and stuff like that, her colors and what I kind of wanted, worked well together. I like silver. I like dark greens. She likes particular kind of blues and reds. So we were able to incorporate all 4 of that. I wore a silver vest, and I think my groomsmen wore, was it forest green, burgundy, and cobalt blue, I believe were the colors. Wow, I'm surprised I remember that. But, be honest. Be adaptable. Because things will change. When my wife and I got married, the place she wanted to have the reception at, we couldn't get in. Then we were going to have some people cater, and the people who were going to cater, their business shut down. So we had to adapt, and we had to be quick on our feet. We had to make, get this, that, and the other. And it really wasn't the wedding that, or I should say the reception, that we wanted. So we're now planning, 15 years. At our 15-year anniversary, we're going to Disney, and we're going to renew our vows and have a bunch of people who couldn't make it before. But we're going to go and we're going to have some fun. And have the wedding reception we wanted. Actually, what she wanted, but, you know how that goes. The second one is women hate periods. I'm going to say that again. Women hate periods. So, fellas, don't make a big deal out of it. Just don't, okay? She's already feeling disgusting. She's probably in a lot of pain. Her emotions are everywhere. Her hormones are everywhere. She hasn't liked it since they started in her teenage years. She probably feels like crap. Don't make a big fucking deal out of it, please. Help. Okay? If she needs you to get something, get it for her. Doesn't matter if you like it or not. It doesn't make you any less of a man to get her pads or tampons. It's just a fact of life. Now, for y'all who aren't married to women, you kind of lucked out. I mean, in that instance, y'all kind of did. But for for those who are married to women, just don't take it personal. Okay, she's in a lot of pain. She feels like crap. She's having stuff gush out of places that are just exceptionally uncomfortable. She's probably not sleeping well. Probably having to run to the bathroom every couple of hours at night to do certain things. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just don't. Don't expect her to cook, you know. Well, if she is having to go into the office or into the work or whatever, and you're on a day off, man, do some laundry. Get up off your ass and do some laundry. Or cook. Or maybe a text her, hey, what would you like for dinner? I'm cooking. Or I can go get it if you know great shakes in the kitchen. But, be proactive. Understand that, she feels like crap. Help her out. Because more often than not, she's doing it for you when you feel like crap. The third one is, it's y'all's stuff. Okay? And I say that because I'm from Texas and that's legal. But it's not your money and her money. It's y'all's money. It's not your food and her food unless you have some dietary restriction. It's y'all's food. And the most important, the responsibilities lay with you two. If you don't know how to wash dishes, learn. If you don't know how to do laundry, learn. If you don't know how to cook, learn. I guarantee you, if you can do those 3 things in your relationship, your spouse is going to love you forever. But share the responsibilities. Not just all the successes, but the losses too. Step up. Be an equal partner. Not you're going to have the same outcome, but be equal. Step up. It's your marriage. She's your queen. Get up off your ass. Being the king doesn't mean folks bow to you. It means you take responsibility. The fourth one, this is one that most people don't like to talk about. But sex changes everything. When you get married, especially if neither one of you have ever had sex before, it changes everything. It's awkward. I mean, even if you've had sex before, it's still awkward. Because the relationship has changed. And for women, especially if they've never had sex before, they physically change. Emotionally they change. Hormonally they change. So understand that there will be changes. Even if y'all hooked up before you got married, it changes everything. Sex is really for 2 reasons once you get married. Having babies or growing closer together. And both of those are great things. For those who are religious, we understand that, sex is for multiplying and replenishing the earth. And there's nothing wrong with that. It gives us the chance to be gods. We're creating life in our image. And it's a beautiful thing. Growing closer together, especially in moments of vulnerability or maybe heightened passion, it's a beautiful thing too. Now, the other end of that spectrum is you both have to be in the mood. Forcing your partner, I don't care if they're male or female, into, doing something that they don't want to do, you can't do that. There is such a thing as matrimonial rape. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If your spouse is not into sex at the moment or doesn't want any love making, don't do it. Respect that boundary, because that's part of respecting responsibilities, okay? Respect them enough just to say, hey, you in the mood? No? Okay, cool. But don't try to force them into it, because number 1, that's a bad move. And number 2, it's extremely disrespectful. It shows that you don't want a partner. You want a play toy. And the 5th one, which is probably the one nobody ever talks about. You won't agree on everything. You just won't. This concept that once you get married, everything's fun and dandy and cotton candy and, rainbows and, gummy bears and no. I'm sorry, but no. You won't agree on everything. It's not possible. You are two distinct individuals with a distinct history, and you've come into marriage with your own wounds and your own experiences and your own traumas, whether you realize that or not. You're wounded. By the time you get married, most adults have been through multiple relationships. So they have scars. They have, some baggage. And you have to deal with that. Planning and communication, for the love of God, fellas. Planning and communication. My wife and I have kind of worked out a system where once every 13, 14 days, we kind of talk about the finances. We talk about what we want in life. We talk about her job, my job, kids, even though we don't have any yet, what the plan is, where we're going to live, what we need to fulfill our goals. And that has helped us have very few arguments because we already know what the plan is. We know what the goal is. I know what she wants. I know what she's planning. And she knows what I want. She knows what I'm planning. So together we talk about this stuff and we're in agreement. I look at it from one perspective. She looks at it from another. We both listen to each other and life is good. But the biggest thing, and this is one of the hardest to master, even now, learn to turn a disagreement into a chance to grow and strengthen your relationship. A lot of times when your spouse is pissed at you, unless you just did something blatantly stupid, they're mad about something else and is just kind of taking it out on you. Do you really think she's pissed off as to how you folded the towels? No, it's something else. But really ask. Really find out the reasons for different things. Really dig in and get those kernels. Get those kernels of truth. And it'll not only show the fact that you're earnest in wanting to grow together, but the fact that you're letting them be vulnerable. And you can be vulnerable too. And that in and of itself is a beautiful thing, because at the end of the day, that's what really marriage is they're the one person we can be vulnerable with. They're the one person that shelters us and helps us and allows us to grow to be better, because they expect that from us, and we should expect that from them. So I'm thinking about maybe turning this into like a little kind of like a segment thing, but I don't know. What do y'all think? Or is this things y'all have known, things that you're working on, things maybe you've never heard of before? Leave a comment, leave a like, and I'll see y'all on the next one.